Sir, you'll need to remove the prosthetic for a more thorough screening. And what's with all the clanking? Got spare parts in there? Trying to smuggle something? The young TSA agent smirked, speaking loudly enough for nearby passengers. Two here. He gestured crudely toward Master Sergeant Sam Brody's amputated leg. Sam, 72, leaned heavily on his cane, his face flushing deep crimson. This prosthetic, son, is the result of an IED in Fallujah, and the clanking is the titanium holding me together. It's not a joke. The agent rolled his eyes. Whatever, Grandpa. Rules are rules. Take it off, or you're not flying. 6 minutes. Later, as Sam sat humiliated in a sterile side room, the airport terminal's PA system crackled to life. A voice of pure, unadulterated command echoed, "This is the Secretary of Defense. All TSA operations in this terminal will cease immediately. I repeat, cease all operations. If you believe true sacrifice deserves unwavering respect, not ridicule, type honor below. Master Sergeant Sam Brody, U.S. Marine Corps, had transited through more airports in more countries under more stressful conditions than most could imagine, from bustling international hubs to dusty airstrips under rocket fire. He'd seen it all. But this felt different. This was supposed to be simple. He was flying from his quiet Florida retirement community to Washington, D.C., to attend the dedication of a new memorial wing at the Marine Corps Museum, honoring his old unit, a unit that had seen some of Iraq's fiercest fighting. Sam wasn't one for ceremonies, but this felt important, a duty to the men who hadn't made it back. He moved slowly. The advanced prosthetic leg, replacing the one he'd lost to a roadside bomb outside Fallujah, ached constantly, a reminder of his service. A marvel of modern engineering, yet cumbersome, especially through airport security. He wore simple travel clothes, soft chinos, a polo shirt, a light jacket against the airport chill. His small, worn leather satchel held his medication, a book, and the neatly folded dress blues he intended to wear, perhaps for the last time, at the ceremony. He'd arrived early, anticipating the usual minor hassles of TSA with a prosthetic. He didn't expect outright mockery. The security checkpoint at Concourse D was chaotic. Weary travelers, beeping machines, barking agents. Sam patiently removed his shoes, belt, and pocket contents, placing them in gray plastic bins. He informed the first TSA agent, a middle-aged woman with a tired expression, about his prosthetic, left leg below the knee. Titanium components, he stated clearly, as instructed countless times. It'll likely alarm the scanner. She nodded curtly and waved him toward the full-body scanner. As expected, the machine beeped aggressively. He was directed aside for secondary screening. That's when he met Agent Thompson. Young, barely out of his teens, with a buzz cut and an ill-fitting uniform, Thompson approached with bored arrogance, twirling his metal detector wand. "All right, Pops, what are we hiding today?" he began, smirking. "Just my prosthetic leg, officer," Sam replied evenly, masking irritation. Thompson ran the wand over Sam's legs. It shrieked over the prosthetic. "Whoa there," Thompson said, stepping back dramatically. "That's a lot of metal. Sure you're, not part Terminator?" he chuckled, glancing around for approval from other agents, who ignored him. "It's a standard medical prosthetic, titanium and carbon fiber," Sam explained, patience thinning. "It's been cleared through security hundreds of times." "Hundreds, huh?" Thompson raised a disbelieving eyebrow. "Well, today's my lucky day. Sir," his tone mockingly formal, "you're going to have to remove the prosthetic for a more thorough screening. And what's with the clanking? Spare parts in there? Smuggling something?" The clanking was the prosthetic's subtle joint articulation, something Sam was self-conscious about. The smuggling jab, even in jest, was insulting, removing his prosthetic. Publicly wasn't standard procedure unless there was credible suspicion. It was also deeply humiliating. "This prosthetic, son," Sam said, voice low and tight, "is from an IED in Fallujah. I nearly bled out in the sand for it. The clanking is the titanium holding me together. It's not a joke. It's part of me. I can't just take it off like a shoe. Thompson, unfazed, even emboldened, puffed his chest. Look, Grandpa, I don't care about your war stories. Rules are rules. The scanner alarmed. My wand alarmed. It comes off for inspection or you're not flying. End of story. Got to make sure you're not carrying any booms in that fancy tin leg. He winked, a crude, offensive gesture. Grandpa, the mocking tone, the public humiliation, the dismissal of his sacrifice. Cold fury surged in Sam, a feeling he hadn't known in years, mixed with profound weariness. He knew arguing was futile. Other passengers stared, some pitying, some uncomfortable, some annoyed at the delay. A TSA supervisor, alerted by raised voices, ambled over. After a whispered chat with Thompson, who likely exaggerated Sam's noncompliance, the supervisor shrugged. Handle it by the book, he told Thompson. So? Thompson pressed, relishing his power. Taking it off here? Or do we go to a private room where I can really inspect your hardware? His smirk widened. Sam closed his eyes, fighting for composure. Private room, he said, voice barely audible. The humiliation was a bitter taste. And I need to make a phone call. One call before your inspection. Thompson shrugged. Fine, but make it quick. And no pictures, capiche? Wouldn't want your secret robot leg schematics getting out. He gestured to a sterile side room, then stood guard, arms crossed. Inside, Sam didn't unstrap his prosthetic. Instead, he pulled out his old cell phone, hands trembling. Not from fear, but from righteous anger and betrayal. He wasn't calling family or a lawyer. He scrolled to one contact, Archangel, an encrypted line to the personal aid of generals. James Iron Jim Mattis, a fictionalized sec-def here, but with a similar reputation. Sam had served as Mattis's senior enlisted advisor years ago. They'd forged a bond in leadership's crucible, one transcending rank and time. The general had given him the number with a gruff, only if the world's ending, Brody, or if some damn fool forgets who our warriors are. This qualified. The call connected instantly. Colonel Bishop speaking. Sam didn't waste words. Bishop, it's Brody. Master Sergeant Samuel Brody. Patch me through to Archangel. Priority 1. Code Black. No hesitation. Bishop knew his voice. Knew the codes. Standing by, Master Sergeant. Patching you through. 5 seconds later, the gravelly voice of the Secretary of Defense came on. Brody, what in God's name is happening? Code Black, Sam explained concisely, his location, Thompson's mockery, the demand to remove his prosthetic, the humiliation. He spoke flatly. Just facts. Silence. Then Mattis, voice like ice. Master Sergeant Brody, you will not remove your prosthetic. You will not endure further indignity. Stay where you are. I'm handling this personally. The line went dead. Sam waited. He knew handling it personally meant swift, overwhelming action. 1 minute. 2. Thompson rattled the doorknob. Hey, Grandpa, time's up. Show me that leg. 3 minutes. 4. Then, chaos outside. Raised voices, shouted orders. The PA system activating. 5 minutes. Thompson's first clue? His day was collapsing. His supervisor sprinting past, face white, yelling into his radio. All units, code red. Cease all screening, executive order. Then the PA boomed. Not a boarding call, but a voice radiating 4-star command. This is the Secretary of Defense. Due to an unacceptable breach of conduct, TSA personnel disrespecting a decorated Marine Corps amputee, all screening in this terminal ceases immediately. No flights depart until this is rectified to my satisfaction. Thompson stared at the owl. PA speaker jaw slack. The Secretary of Defense? Shutting down the terminal over him? The door flung open, not by Thompson, but by 2 imposing figures in dark suits and earpieces. Secret Service or Doty security. Between them, General James Iron Jim Mattis. Face thunderous. He strode straight to Sam, ignoring Thompson. Master Sergeant Brody, Mattis said, voice softening slightly but still steely. You all right? Sam, rising with his cane, nodded weakly. Shaken, sir, but intact. Good. Mattis turned his laser gaze to Thompson, who who looked ready to collapse. "You," Mattis growled, voice dangerously low. "You mocked this Marine's prosthetic as fancy tin hardware, demanded its removal in violation of protocol and decency. Federal law protects disabled veterans," Thompson stammered. "See, sir, I was just following procedure. The alarms—" "Your procedure?" Mattis thundered. "Mocked a man who lost his leg defending the freedoms you enjoy. Humiliated a warrior who sacrificed more than you'll ever comprehend." He stepped closer. Thompson shrank back. "Let me educate you, son. That fancy tin is a reminder of the day he dragged 3 wounded Marines from a burning vehicle under enemy fire, while his own leg was shattered. That clanking? The sound of resilience, of a man unbroken by war or fools like you." Mattis turned to the cowering supervisor. "This agent is removed, not suspended, terminated. I want a full investigation, his conduct, training, every complaint on my desk by Ordo 800 tomorrow. Furthermore, every TSA agent here undergoes immediate retraining on ADA compliance and veteran respect, overseen by my office. Until I'm satisfied, no one screens a single passenger." He turned back to Sam, expression softening. "Master Sergeant, you're my guest on my aircraft. We'll get you to that memorial. No further indignities." He offered his arm. "Let's get you out of this madhouse." Sam, leaning on his cane and Mattis's arm, walked out, past a stunned Thompson, a frantic supervisor, and a terminal in unprecedented lockdown. All because one agent forgot the cardinal rule: never mock a warrior's sacrifice. The sight of the SecDef escorting an unassuming veteran with a prosthetic silenced the terminal. Airline staff, stranded passengers, and subdued TSA agents watched in disbelief. The terminal stayed shut for 3 hours. Homeland Security scrambled. Nationwide alerts went out. Emergency retraining was drafted. Thompson was fired. The supervisor, demoted. Sam flew to D.C. on Mattis's jet. He attended the memorial, not in dress blues, still in his bag, but standing tall beside the general. His story spread like wildfire through military circles, a modern legend of swift justice. THOAC, Brody Protocol, became unofficial DoD doctrine, strengthened directives for respectful veteran treatment at all federal checkpoints. Sam returned to his quiet life, but walked taller. The weight felt lighter. He knew, even in a forgetful world, some in power remembered that prosthetic wasn't fancy tin. It was a testament, the clanking, the sound of a warrior still standing, a sound that, heard by the right ears, could summon thunder. Subscribe to Hidden Sparks if you believe heroes deserve honor, not harassment, and that accountability must follow disrespect.